Well, hey there, everyone. Damian Tuya here, and I wanted to come in to talk to you a little bit today about a housing bubble. There's been a lot of talk about that lately, and due to the rapid rise of home prices, I'd say since the pandemic, there's been a lot of talk about this topic, and so, I've heard some people even say that this feels like 2008 again. If you remember back then, world of real estate kind of came crashing down as a part of the Great Recession, and we actually saw almost a 20% decrease in home prices. Over the course of that period of time, and that is all true and everything, and I think that's what's got people afraid right now. But there are some differences, and I wanted to kind of take a minute today, put together a little video, and kind of share some of the differences that I see as to why right now what we're seeing in the increase in prices is not the same as what was going on, and I really don't think we're going to see much of a decrease in price. We may see a little correction, but when you look at the amount of homes that were available back in that 07, 08, 09, 10 period of time, there was already a surplus. There was already multiple months of homes available, and then you had this crisis where all this stuff happened, and you added on top of what we already had tons of foreclosures nationwide, and boom, we had a massive problem where the market was oversaturated with listings and buyers were able to pick them apart. And so, unlike now, we're not seeing that much of that much inventory. We're still, even though the market is shifting, and it's obviously not what it was last year, not what it was at the beginning of this year, but we're not dealing with a shortage. Or excuse me, we're still dealing with a shortage. We're not dealing with a surplus. And so I do think that is something that we have to consider. The second thing is when you stop and you look at the mortgage lending industry, there were much less strict restrictions back in the mid to late 2000s than there are now. And I found a graph that will actually show you, and so this highlights the Mortgage Credit Availability Index, MCAI metric, that is used to kind of judge this. And it shows you how easy or how difficult it is. And so the higher the number, the easier it is to get a mortgage. And you can see where we are now, versus where we were then. And so I really don't think that this is another reason to why we're not seeing, because the mortgage lending restrictions are super, super stringent. And, so we're not making bad loans. We're not making loans to people who qualify but maybe can't really pay, and honestly, when you look at this is the highest that this level's been in the last 20 years. And so all that, it was great. And to kind of tie it all together, let's bring it back to the foreclosure numbers. Let's look at foreclosure numbers back then versus foreclosure numbers right now. And you can clearly see that there is a huge difference. And so, in my opinion, there's just really no danger, of the market becoming oversaturated with too many listings, which is then going to drive the price down. We've watched the price be driven up because of a shortage. And so we're still technically short. And if we don't get into that massive, oversupply problem, we're going to still see prices stay very strong. So, a lot of people are worried about it. So I just kind of wanted to put a little video together, kind of share that information, that opinion. And hopefully these graphs really solidify your view and help you understand that, that this isn't the 2008, 2009, 10 market. This is a very different market. And so it's still strong. And yes, it's still a great time to buy. And yes, it's still a great time to sell. So if I can answer questions, give me a call, reach out at any point in time. I'm always happy to do that and provide some information so that you can make the best decision that is right for you and your family. So take care. Hope y'all have a great day.